Now, I don't usually talk about booga business because that is not my business. That is not my monkey nor my circus. But today, I think it's important to talk about booga business as it relates to how some black men dance for white men and how other black men stand up for black women against white men. Or against other men in general, but in this case, it is a white man, and what the reception of that is from the booga community. Now, follow me, if you will, for a moment to the booga universe, just briefly. And all the things that I'm going to be mentioning, please, for the love of God, don't listen to the videos. I mean, like, you can find the clips if you want to, but don't give these boogas any money or your attention. I'm just going to summarize it for you right here, right now. So basically, Kendrick Lamar dropped an album, Fire. And the first song in that album is Walked Out My Mural, I think is what it's called. And in that song, brilliant, there is one line that says, "Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman, that's law." I might have butchered it a little bit, but that's the essence of it, right? Now, while this technically happens all the time and has happened throughout history where white comedians make jokes about black women, there's a specific booga online whose name is Andrew Schultz. Please forget the name immediately after I said it, who thinks that he was specifically talking about him. And with that, some things have transpired. Okay, let me rephrase this. Because Andrew Schultz thought that that line was specifically about him, he then makes what Andrew says is a joke, saying, "Oh, well, I would have sex with Kendrick Lamar, and Kendrick Lamar would be the only person who would determine if it was consensual or not. AKA, I will sexually assault Kendrick Lamar," is paraphrasing what he's saying. I am open to assaulting Kendrick Lamar is what he's saying, but it's a joke. Oh my God, but it's a joke is what he said. And you better believe that he said this joke in front of another black man. And we can go into the history of what this looks like in the United States, into buck breaking, the history of white men sexually assaulting black men in slavery times. We could go through that, but we've got other things to cover for right now. Now, I know that I've had this picture behind me for a little bit, and I will move out of the way in a hot second, but I think I want to switch up the order of what I'm going to describe, because in this video, now please just look at the picture for a hot second. Homeboy over here, it's the problematic white man, and he has two black people next to him, a black woman and Charlemagne. So keep this in mind. He's going to be talking about this and how excited he feels that, oh my goodness, Big Daddy Kendrick noticed me. Senpai Kendrick noticed me. So he's going to be talking about that in front of black people. And he has these other black people here to try and buffer, that kind of be like, oh no, see, well, I'm allowed to say these things around black people. They're fine with it. Thus, you should be fine with it. But that is the image that is being curated here. Now let's get into this tweet. Andrew Schultz revealed that Kendrick Lamar fans have threatened to kill his family online. Some of Kendrick's fans have been posting shit telling me they're going to take out my family on like pictures of my kids. And this is the nature of the game. I don't blame Kendrick. I don't feel remorse for Drake, but you talked about someone's child. And then he goes on to say like, oh my, like now I'm scared for my kids. Like, that's not okay. And he recognizes, as he says in here, like, it's not Kendrick, it's the fans. But like, guys, it was just a joke. And Kendrick did notice me. To which we go up here, Andrew, the people threatening to kill your family were just comedians. You're just too woke to have a sense of humor. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with why this particular response tweet is so funny, is because when the Shits and Gigs people that I made a video about, I'll be posting it right up there, when they went on this guy's podcast and he made all those remarks about black women, and then there was this huge outlash because of that, not just against him, but also against Shits and Gigs. He said, guys, I'm a comedian. It's a joke. You guys clearly just can't take a joke. It's my job to be funny. So now this big bad comedian, I'm using air quotes because I've never thought he was funny. He is giving the essence of crying on the internet because like, Oh no, my family's in danger. I just threatened violence against other people and was racist online. But guys, you've gone too far. Which then brings me here. So all you need to know is that the guy that says all of this is this booga right over here in the white shirt. Yes, it's a brother. It's a brother. So somebody says leave black women out of your jokes. Right. It should be the end of that. There's no black women on this stage. Booga says, you know what? Actually, I do have more things to say. I disagree. I don't give a fuck if you're black, white. He goes on to say more things. Nobody's above the jokes. I respect Schultz. He's like Chappelle to me. They say shit they're willing to die on whatever hill they stand. Basically, they're willing to say stuff and like die on the hill that they're standing on. I respect people's right to say whatever the fuck they want to say, as long as they're willing to deal with whatever comes with what they say. Here's the issue. Schultz is not willing to die on whatever hill he's on, because he's over here crying on the internet because, oh no, the consequences of my actions have put people that I care about in danger? When? And the kicker is that all of this could have been avoidable if you just kept black women out of your mouth. This all could have been avoidable, because that line would still stand even if he didn't go out of his way to insult black women. Why? Because people have been using black women as punchlines for hundreds of years. You didn't invent racism. You didn't invent misogynoir. You're not a revolutionary. You're just another unfunny white guy. And all of this because Kendrick dropped GNX, where he talks about black women in so many beautiful ways throughout this album. Not just in that one brief line that all of this had. Also, just talk about the power of black art. Let's just talk about, from that one line, look at all of this that has been done. He said so much more in that song than just that one line. But if you want to see what it, like, reincarnation. One, just listen to Reincarnation. Two, this is what happens when you stand up 10 toes down for black women. One, black women will ride with you into the sunset. And two, look at all the vitriol that then came up because of how unapologetic Kendrick has been and how hard he rides for black women. Now let me rephrase this. This is what happens when you ride this hard for black women. So if you feel like, oh, like I'm riding with black women, I'm riding with marginalized women, but your life is still hunky-dory, 100% okay, arguably you're doing, this is what happens. Back in the day, if you were not also getting hosed down with us, then you were not riding with us. This is what it looks like, because these systems of power realize how powerful we as black women are, so they attack people that recognize this power with as much force as they can. So if you are not feeling at least some of that, then guess where you're riding? Now, in general, because I would like to just gently put out an apology, because I have shown you the faces of far too many men in one video, and I want to apologize for that. You didn't deserve that. Kendrick, you can continue to look at, but I did put a lot of booga faces in front of you in this video, and I apologize. But these things had to be said. And I want to hear your thoughts on this. Please, type them away in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later. All right, stay safe out there.